Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of BS going around nowadays on how to become a millionaire, how to make 100k a month, and anything like this. People are starting to scream in the mirror and they say that they are a millionaire. They start to slap on their chest and they tell themselves how positive they are. Come on, man. What are we even doing? Like, honestly. Today in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how simple it can be in order to actually become successful in 2024 and beyond without any of this basically bullshit, how we call it. As in the time we are living in right now, the people, they feel the basics. And in this short video, I will show you and share basically the details of the real raw reality that can really impact your life to actually become part of the 1%. This starts by becoming the best at the basics. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan talked about it, and people right now, they are too focused on too many things that basically will not change anything for you in this life. Kids nowadays, they need to learn 20 different things in school. People need to multitask between 4 different jobs. This is exactly why people have a very hard time nowadays to stand out in order to actually make an impact on, the things that do matter, but they don't master anything this way. If you learn the basics of just one thing and you become so good at it that, at this one thing that people instantly think about you to solve a problem or anything around that one thing that you're the best at, that is the thing that will make you stand out. That is basically where you will get paid for having a job, or, where people will pay you to solve problems in their life while basically being a business owner in this case. Or maybe a professional athlete, just like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant in this case. So how do you do this? Think about the most basic things that you're doing on a daily basis. For example, for myself, when I go to the gym, I see a lot of people doing things that I haven't personally done before in the gym. Even by going like 5, 6, 7 years to the gym, I see people doing stuff that I haven't done in my entire lifetime. But that doesn't mean that that one thing will change my physique. If I, for example, learn the basics while going to the gym, or when basically I learn the basics in order to master specific things in my business, right? The front end, the back end, the real things that do matter to grow something, or maybe things in your personal life. Think about it. If you master those things, then you build basically a foundation on those things in order to become better. So if you lack the foundation, if you lack the basic, you will never be able to grow on that foundation that you need to have in order to build anything, right? If you want to build a building, you need to first have basically the foundation in order to build on. If you don't have it, you lack it, the business cannot build on anything. You need to have a foundation, and if you have that foundation and you're the very best at the foundation, so you can then build on that foundation, that's basically where progress has been made. You won't make any progress if you don't have anything to basically rely on. So it is super important that that thing that you want to achieve, and it might right now sound or maybe see for yourself super hard to achieve, then just go basically back to the basics. Think about the one thing that will actually drive basically that thing forward in order to actually achieve the thing you want to achieve. If you just look at that, the basic, and you forget about all the fancy stuff that you right now see on the internet, like for example, screaming in the mirror, right? By having, let's say, post notes on your mirror every morning that you tell yourself how great you are. Of course, these things will maybe build up your confidence over time. I don't issue that at all. But the thing is, the things that really matter is the basic thing, the thing that is required to make progress. And that is the thing, doing the thing that really do matter. By, for example, in a business case, if you're not doing the things that you need to do, and you're, for example, only relying on God, which is a great thing, right? God, that's basically the foundation. But if you have God beside you, but you're not doing anything because you believe in God and you don't want to take action on the things that God can guide you in, then you're just lazy. Then you're just waiting for something that will not happen. Because, of course, there will be handholds, there will be anything besides that can help you. But if you don't take action, if you don't control the basics, then nothing will grow from there on. You need to take action. You need to learn and understand what is required in order to become better at something, in order to achieve the thing that you want to achieve. Number 2, working out daily. And I'm actually talking about exercising right here. If you're not able to work on your most important vessel, which is your body, you will never ever be able to achieve your maximum potential. That's obvious. When people talk about wealth, they instantly think about money. But wealth is way bigger than that. If you ask right now a millionaire, how do you become wealthy? How have you achieved all of that, all of the success also related to money? They will tell you one thing, and that is health. The health needs to be in place, because if you don't have your health, you have literally nothing. You can do all the things you want in life, but if you're not even willing to, let's say, work on it, to exercise, maybe starting 3 times a week, 4 times, 5 days, 6, 7 days a week. If you can improve that every single day, day by day, year by year, then you will see basically improving results, because your body is just able to achieve and is capable of actually achieving more on a daily basis. So you can actually get more out of the days than might be that you're doing right now. If you're eating McDonald's every single day, you will never be able to operate at your 100%, because your body is just not able to get the proper nutrition that is needed to fuel basically the thing that you want to do. For example, maybe going to the gym, hitting basically PR after PR, or hitting whatever goal you want to achieve. But also in business, you will never be able to focus long term on a project, because you will have, let's say, those dips in energy, because you're actually throwing trash into your body, like literally. So the most important thing that you can do is first focusing on your health, and the rest that will come with that, also what I shared in earlier number 1, is a byproduct of what you do with your body. Because your body, how you will treat that, is basically as well how you can eventually treat maybe your business or whatever it might be. It's super important to have it all outlined, right? But you need to first be focused on the most important thing that basically does everything for you, where you do everything with, and that is, let's say, your physical body, your mental health. If you have that in place, you're capable of achieving way more than you might be doing right now if you're not focusing on it. It has to be a priority, literally, for everyone. And of course, we all have different levels in everything in life. But if you're filled the basics, like I said earlier, you will basically be able to not achieve the things that you're capable of when you have that body that you can have, right? Or thinking about that everybody can have like a six-pack, but actually almost no one has it, because they're not treating their body the way that they should be doing. And that's basically why there is also so much mediocrity right now, because people fail the basics. They fail working out. They fail basically working on the most important thing in life, and they love binge watching. Honestly, people say there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm against that, to be very honest. Because those people are also the people that are complaining why their life is not where they want it to be. And like I said, if you're not even able to work on your body, and if you're not even able to control what you put into your mouth, what are you actually able to, control then in your life? Number 3, self-belief. And that is not about arrogance, but actual capabilities. By putting in the work, and that way your confidence and self-belief will grow. Think about it this way. I think people perceived basically the self-belief and confidence in themselves completely wrong. How I see it is as follows. If you want to gain self-belief, and if you want to become more confident, and I'm speaking from honest experience, because I was not, let's say, confident at all a few years ago. And the thing is, what actually caused self-belief is by putting in the work that you tell yourself you would like to do and you want to do, actually doing it, seeing the results from it. Maybe it might take a few weeks, months, or years, but if you put in the work long enough, you will see results, guaranteed. Honestly, in any way or another way, you will see results. And those results will actually, grow your self-belief, or grow and skyrocket your confidence. That is not by telling yourself that you're going to do something and eventually not doing it. That is going to work the opposite way. That way, let's say your self-belief is going to drop even more. If you tell yourself that you would like to achieve a specific physique, right? And you need to know, of course, and you know it, that you need to put in the work required in order to achieve it. Because that's something that cannot be faked. Then you need to do certain things and certain behaviors, maybe by going to the gym or eating in a specific way that will transform your body. But if you tell yourself you like to do something, and you tell yourself you're gonna do it, but you eventually don't do it, or you do it, but you just give up, then your self-belief will, go the opposite way. But in the opposite way, again, if you want to grow it and you actually put in the work that you told yourself you're gonna do, and you will see results over time, that way you build up self-confidence, self-belief, and the results will even skyrocket more, because from that self-belief, it's just could cause an effect. you will do even more work in order to achieve more results. And that way, your results will become bigger and your confidence and self-belief will grow even more because you're actually doing the things that you should be doing. Number 4, following your commitments over your passions. And what do I mean by that? Where you commit to today will be the thing that you will master eventually. Your passions might not be the thing that you're passionate about in a month, in a year, or let's say 5 years from now. That will just fluctuate all the time. But your passions, your passionate things are the things that are your hobbies, the things outside of your professional career. And everything right nowadays needs to feel good and everything, but feelings always comes and goes. So instead of focusing on that, focus on your commitments and just mastering one thing, because eventually you know that you will see the results. You might get passionate about it at that time, but you don't need to be passionate about something in order to start it. Okay, I think that's super, let's say, misperceived in today's commodity, because people are talking about, oh, why would you do something when you're not feeling it? Why would you do something when you're not passionate about it? But I think that is the exact thing why most people right now are still not working maybe the thing that they want to work on, or why today's society is like giving up so quick, because they feel, oh, when I'm not passionate about it, I will stop it. And that will basically reflect in everything that you will do on a daily basis. Because I don't like to go to the gym like, every single day. I have also off days. I also, feel sometimes that I don't want to do it, or like running in the rain. But if you do the things that you committed yourself to do, right? And you master that thing eventually, you will do it regardless of how you feel about it. And that is basically where progress has been made. That's basically how you build your character. And that character is not only the thing that might go really deep, but that character is not going to be the thing that you rely on, but your entire family. Because how you treat yourself, that will basically be the thing that your kids will also do to themselves. And that might also prevent them at some point in order to achieve the thing they would like to achieve, because they might give up too quick because they're not passionate about it, while it might be a thing that can actually, make them better in life. So your passions is all great, of course. But right now, if you just focus on commitments and mastering one thing, then eventually you might, still become passionate about that thing that you're not passionate about right now. And it's all about just starting, committing to it, mastering it, and eventually you will see the results. Number 5, and that is learning to say no. And what this means is that you're actually saying yes to something else that does matter. But this is so overlooked, I can tell you that. Why? Look, I was a people pleaser just a few years ago. I said a lot of the times yes to something that I actually didn't want to do. But in that case, I was also saying no to some things that I actually, did want to do. Because I just have 24 hours in a day, just like everyone else. And if you have a schedule that you would like to stick to, and someone else comes in between and calls you up, you just say no if that thing is not, let's say, going to change, let's say, your life. Because it will affect your schedule at that point. It might affect your mood, and that way all the other things that come basically besides it will also be affected. That's basically what I have seen. If you learn to say no and prioritize your own schedule over that of, let's say, someone else because he or she needs you, you're not, let's say, egocentric or whatever. You just respect your time. And that is way more important than just pleasing people and, to the cost of yourself. Number 6, becoming a creator rather than a consumer. And what do I mean by that? Look, creators basically create the things nowadays that the consumers are consuming. And that way as well, like the consumers are consuming the things that the creators are making, which is actually what is making the creators millions nowadays. If you're nowadays having, let's say, more than 4 hours per day of screen time without making any money from it, or let's say you're not working on your phone, then I think you have a serious problem. Because in today's commodity, you can actually gain so much knowledge online from just free value that has been given. And if you don't do anything with it, you're basically worse off than the people that don't know, basically, that there is knowledge available online. Because you know that you can achieve way more than you're achieving right now. And if you don't do anything with it, then, you will never be able to get the thing that you know that you can have. So just to give you a story about this, there was basically a true story from 2 people working at the same job. And these 2 people were having 2 very different lives, even though they were as happy at the same job. One person had a very rich uncle, the other one not. The rich uncle came one day to that basically guy's his home. He was 30 years old, and it's a true story. He was 30 years old, lived in his parents' basement, and he was basically having nothing to do with his life except for gaming and having a lot of like screen time, just scrolling on his phone. He didn't do anything in his off time. And his uncle one day came back to him and he offered him a 50,000 euro voucher to go to the Oxford University to acquire actual knowledge in order to make something from his life. That's what he said, because he couldn't live more, let's say more than 30 years in his parents' basement, doing nothing with his life, being a consumer. And that way, when he had that voucher, he was also able, of course, to get a better job. But he decided to think about it. Eventually, he did do it. He went to the university. He gained a lot of knowledge, as he was, of course, very capable of, let's say, gaining knowledge because he was very knowledgeable. Then, at some point, he came back after the 1 year sabbatical at the exact same job, and he saw that his basically employee that he was working with was still working there. And the thing is, he didn't do anything with the knowledge that he had acquired. He was still a consumer at that point. His behavior, besides gaining that knowledge, was basically not changed. And that way he was worse off. He was not happy at the job that he had, which he was very happy with when he had it before. Because he knew he was capable of achieving way more than he had. Even with this time online, there are so many things that you can actually gain knowledge from in order to actually benefit you, maybe not directly, but maybe in a year, 5 years, 10 years from now. So you can actually develop skill sets that can help you over time, basically becoming more, maybe happy, wealthy, whatever you're achieving and basically pursuing in life. That person was worse off because he knew he was able of achieving way more, but he didn't do anything with it. And the other guy, who was basically having the exact same job, who gained nothing, was as happy as a dog still, because he didn't have that knowledge. He was just living his good life. But the other was still a consumer. He was still living in his parent basement. He kept being a consumer rather than a creator in order to achieve more for his life. And that's just based on, commitments that you set for yourself, if it's a priority for you, or if you still, would like to do the thing that you've always been doing, knowing that, it won't change your life. And this is very important to basically know that the knowledge there is available. It is basically free. But the things that you do with it is super different than someone who's maybe not knowledgeable and who don't want to change at all. That's completely fine. But if you want to change and you know that you can change and you don't do anything with it, that would be something, that would work the opposite way. So it's super important to understand if you're able and capable of achieving more with the things that you can achieve and you would like to achieve, that you also go after it. And not telling yourself or others, more importantly, that you want to do something, but you don't do it, because then you will be worse off. So with that being said, I hope this video was valuable to you. Let me know in the comments what you think of it, and I'm super looking forward to see you guys in the next video.